Hello.
Hello. All right.
I got to turn some. Oh, yeah, in there.
I've got no video for anybody other than me.
And no audio, it looks like, for Pranav.
We could probably fix that, maybe.
You have to go to the left side at the bottom where the camera is, and you'll see you can turn that on or off. I'm going to turn mine on. Or I'm going to use the up arrow. Just use the right camera. Okay, there I go. I just well, okay. Just single click
There you
the
are.
camera.
There you are.
I left my background on. Yeah, go to the left-hand side for those who haven't used it before, and you can buy the little camera on the bottom left side. Use the up arrow and select your camera, and then you can go to the bottom left side again and use the up arrow to select your microphone, and click the microphone if you're still muted, and that should get you live.
Unless he just wants to listen.
Yeah.
Is there a chat option for some?
Yeah, there's chat, but that's text. You can click the chat option, and the chat area will appear on the right-hand side.
We're it so far. No one else is waiting.
Yeah, everyone comes late. We encourage lateness. Where does the background setting go, Leroy?
If you click your up arrow for the camera again and go to video settings.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's in there somewhere.
Video. Virtual background. There it is. And now I look pseudo normal. Normal as I get.
Oh, you probably need to turn on screen sharing too. All the security measures that they've designed to protect us.
Oh, there's Pranav.
Yep, he's up in the chat.
Yeah. And there's Gail.
Mm-hmm.
Right back in the background.
Mm-hmm. Right there.
All right, Mr. Kenny, we can't see you.
There he is.
There he is.
I thought we were going to get lucky today.
Yeah, no luck. All good luck.
Yeah. Forgot my tea. Can't have that. So Friday is restaurant day, and is it outside, inside?
Uh,
100%?
it's supposed to be, I thought it was today and it was supposed to be for inside. But a lot of the restaurants we went to, drove past, were still closed. Just drive through.
I went to Wendy's this afternoon, and they said the drive-through is open naturally, but they said that you could come into the store and place your order in the store, but you couldn't stay.
That's interesting.
And they had all the chairs sitting on the tables. Then I drove by McDonald's, and they were the same way. The chairs are sitting on the tables.
We went to Arby's up there at what is that? Up there by Best Buy and Walmart and all that, Target and all that up there off of Princeton Road. And their door was closed. It was locked. Drive-through was open.
But no, they said that the store is open, that you can place an order inside, but no seating arrangements as of this time. So they're trying to figure out what they can do and what they can't do. So, but they have like a limited menu, and they're open at limited time. They're closed at they open at 10. No, it's open from 8 to 7. So they close at 7 o'clock tonight. So they've got limited menu and limited help inside there.
Is that the one up there on Princeton Road?
No, that's the one over here by Mason, off of Mason Montgomery Road.
Okay.
So yeah.
I know the one on Real, I think it's still open until 9 o'clock, but they've got a limited menu.
I had a new garage door opener I put in, and it has a little app that you can put on your phone, and you can open and close the garage door with that app. So today I'm trying it out.
Cool.
Works pretty nice. I had one before from Jim that worked okay. It worked good, but this is part of the system now. So that's all good.
I played around. I got a media server set up on a Raspberry Pi 4. I finally figured out what to do with the Raspberry Pi 4 that I bought a year ago. Finally figured out what to do with it. So I've got a media server set up.
What does a media server do?
Serves media. It runs like your own personal Netflix or Hulu. So I've got a bunch of things on this hard drive, and it serves it out to my Roku TV, so I can watch it on the TV. Works pretty good. I probably should have gone with the 2 gig model, but the 1 gig works pretty good.
So this would be roughly analogous to plugging a USB device into your router and sharing it off of your router.
Sorta, yeah.
Okay. Except it's already has Wi-Fi built in, and you can just use Roku and go to, what would you go to on the TV to access it?
But the media server is called Embly. Here. Let's see here.
Is Embly something you can load on your Roku TV to watch it? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Like we have YouTube on my Roku TV. We watch YouTube stuff. It's really good too.
That is not what I wanted to share.
Yeah, Pranoff, this Zoom is really nice. It allows you to share your screen, which is what Leroy's doing now.
So if I went and plugged this back in, I could go to and view all my media right there on that. But this website here explains how to set it up and what it can do, and it's pretty much free.
Cool. I'd like to get an external recorder for my satellite, low resolution, where I could record whatever I want on any device that I wanted.
Yeah.
So I need a composite recorder, I guess. But then you can't schedule everything, and it gets messy.
They do make DVRs. I had one once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make them with the built-in tuners, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see what I got here. Oh, okay. So I wanted to do something. This.
I see that the library is now set up for picking up books and dropping off books at the roadside.
Yes.
Got
That's what my email says.
Yeah, I got that email from them. That was kind of interesting.
I got looks like the robot thing that we were doing over there in Trenton. It looks like they're going to cancel that for a while because of all this. So I guess I'm not taking sumo bots over there in Trenton and showing them off.
Well, they canceled the state fair today too.
Did they?
Yeah, Ohio State Fair is canceled for this year.
That's not really all that surprising.
But that's huge.
Yeah.
A lot of people go to that fair.
Looks like Leroy put up a nice clip today. How hard you can hit a golf ball.
Did you now?
Yeah.
You need to watch it. It's like 16 minutes long, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
Well, I went to the driving range to tune up my driver, or tune me up, okay? Maybe I should have installed that before I went.
Only if you've got a rocket-powered golf club or an air gun that can blast something at 500 miles an hour. It's a collaboration of like 3 different people, and one of the guys is the guy that invented that glitter bomb thing that we watched. So it's crazy what they come up with. The premise, they wanted to deform a golf ball, and how hard you would have to hit it to deform a golf ball. So that was the idea behind the video.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty crazy. It's good. You need to watch that.
Yeah. Michael Sullivan shared that with me, and I decided that everybody needed to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and I decided to go out on the deck, and there were 2 deers in my backyard looking at me. So that was kind of nice. I haven't seen them for about a year now.
They probably were wondering what you were doing still at home.
Yeah. Well, the animals are coming out, they say. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, 2 deers are sitting, standing right there by the fence. They
But
took a
were
look
they
at me and they kind of scooted.
observing personal distancing?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
Very much so.
Very much so. But I hadn't seen them for about a year now, so took a quick picture and sent it to my neighbor and said, they're heading your way.
Okay, the news this week that we scrounged up, America just invested, looks like a couple $100 million in some next generation nuclear power. It looks like, and then they've been talking about this since I was in the field 20 years ago. They're talking about standardizing on some smaller nuclear packages where you could just drop one here and there. It used convection for circulating the water, and it's a standard package, la. So they're spending a couple of hundred. Looks like people are getting serious about it as a real alternative to CO2 pollution. We have the sheep herd robotic thing. It's not much different from the other ones we've seen. It was a bunch of stuff in about 5 seconds of them using a robot to herd sheep. Fast charging supercapacitor. That looks interesting. Capacitors are a really cool way of storing energy, but long-term storage, not so much. That'd be a real interesting option. Graphene showing up as a solar sail, a potential for a solar sail. A solar sail is you put a object into space and it puts out a sail, and then you aim a laser or something at the sail to push it. You can get very little push out of it, but you don't need a lot of push to accelerate something. If you want to accelerate something over 5 years, you can use a solar sail. A solar sail, graphene is important because it's extremely light and extremely thin. It's 1 atom thick. So putting one up there would be more economical than some of the other alternatives. Here's your affordable solar program launched in Ohio for middle-class homeowners. What this does, looks like they'll put a solar system up for you, but they'll put the money in, $32,000 for you to get started. No return on investment and stuff like that. Talking about, probably a bunch of foolishness from my standpoint of view. But here's one for Mike, a 5,000 watt electric bike conversion motor. Okay. And the running speed is like 49 miles per hour. But 5,000 watts, it'll do a tremendous takeoff. But I don't know how long you could ride on it. But 5,000 watts, that's a lot. And the book of the month is still Thank You for My Service. It's a hoot to read. This is a real live go-getter here. This is a go-getter guy. But he's funny too, has a weird sense of humor and a morbid sense of humor. But you have to take it in the context of where he's been and what he does. You have to have a morbid sense of humor if you're going to be in his line of business. I saw some videos of him on the internet. They're pretty interesting. Matt Best is his name. Okay, the networking adventure. We don't want to have to go there unless we have to. Here's the spreadsheet, my spreadsheet off based on the Real Clear Politics spreadsheet. Looks like today we lost 44 in New York City, down from 180. And that's been wandering up and down, but that's way down. Tuesdays seems to be the worst death day. And then Saturdays and Sundays, the death rate goes way down. I think they may not be counting them well on the weekend. Somebody's slipping around. New Jersey, 96 versus 156 yesterday. 69 versus 43 for Michigan. Looks like they dropped the ball on the count in Pennsylvania yesterday. 2 reported and 158 today. These last numbers are, the green ones are numbers that are down since yesterday. And the red ones are numbers that are up. This number is definitely, somebody didn't count day before yesterday. It's the reason it's red. And this one's red. Looks like it may be up a little bit today. Hard to tell. But the numbers are in general green and looking much, much better in general. Here, got some few reds down here, but these are the lower death rates, 49, 49, 67 there. That's Georgia. But remember, these are death rates, so this is 2 or 3 weeks from when they caught the disease. The yellows are ones that haven't changed or didn't report. I can update this. I'll update this a little bit later, and some of these will probably change from yellow. But in general, looking good. This total here is indicative of the percentage change. Notice the percent up or down. So 78% increase is reported in the states individually. So that's the total of the percentages. And here is 111 previously, yesterday, 145 day before yesterday. So in general, this count is going way, way down. It is looking better in general. Although it's affected by the day of the week, which kind of surprises me. They're just not counting on the weekends. So, okay. So, what you got, Kenny? You got anything
No.
besides a new garage door opener?
Garage door opener, the deers, the golf drivers. It's too wet to go out. The course was closed, so we couldn't go out today. So that was kind of a bummer. Oh yeah, I decided to do something, I don't know, stupid. I pumped up the tire of my bike and I drove it over to the Yamaha place today. Told them to fix it, okay? Put a new tube in and fix the mirror that's kind of broken. They told me they have a 2 to 3 week lead time. I can't pick it up to mid-June at the earliest. And I said, what's the deal? He says, well, everybody's brought their bike in for summer tune-up. He said, oh, by the way, we don't have any used bikes. You know, I said, why don't we have any used bikes? He says, they all came in and bought them all.
Wow.
So people are looking to, he said they spent their stimulus check on bikes.
It's time to green slime that tire, I'm telling you.
I know. So no bike until June, mid-June.
Oh, you can keep it aired up. It's not leaking that fast anyway.
Yeah. So it's got a little oil leak now.
Do
I think it might be time to sell.
No. I do feel safer.
You should feel safer.
Yeah, we got time to travel the roads till things go bad.
Yeah. Easy Rider won't be out there for another 3 weeks.
Hey, Gail, look at that. Look at that lamp. Does that look familiar?
No.
That's similar to one in the family room or the living room.
That's
Looking
the
at your
kid.
lamp.
That's the kitchen lamp.
Ceramic-y stuff. So it's not really like that.
Oh, okay. So what else got, Leroy?
That's about it. Been playing around with the Raspberry Pis the past month or more or longer. It's all one big day. It's all one. That's really about all I've got, really.
Okay. I got torture stuff, man. I'm just waiting. Here we go.
It's here.
Pranav doesn't even have his talker going.
Yeah.
So here is what I've been playing, my daily festivities, starting day before yesterday. iSpy has been torturing me, and I've had several symptoms on my security server. First problem is the FP019 cameras are turned on, have multiple problems occur. Cameras start dropping off the network. Cameras start getting trash on their screens. By turning one or more of the SP019s, that's the 2 megapixel 3 cams, the problems are resolved. The first cam to drop out is the furthest one away, the one that's on the extender. Clear that up. Problem 2, the scan frequency of 2 car tracking cameras go wild. My car tracking cameras are the high speed ones. They're running 5, 6, 7 frames per second. And when things go bad, the frame rate starts jumping up. And you can see them go 13 frames per second and 40 frames per second. And there's no way that those cameras are going to do 40 frames per second. So things just start going berserk. And the way I can get them settled down is by taking one or more of the SP019s offline. SP019s have turned out to be a resource hog, which you kind of would consider that because they're higher resolution cameras. And one of my SP019s is acting even worse than the others. If you try to use a fixed address, when you go to, it'll start acting crazy and go offline. And if you go to look at it, you'll get crazy stuff in the address screens. So I've been dealing with the manufacturer on that. So I tried using DHCP. It seemed to be a little more stable using DHCP. And then I tried using DHCP on the other SP019s who weren't having the same problem. And it just ended up being a pain. Well, anyhow, the test conclusions, we had a problem with the SP019 and we turned it off to eliminate the conclusions. We were guessing the SP019 pictures, these are 2 megapixel on-vis cameras, on-VIF cameras, at full resolution. Compression is overloading the iSpy computer, which makes the network unstable and causes dropouts and corrupt pictures, just bad behavior in general, affecting the network and the display and everything, something to do with the SP019 cameras. And it looks like their overloading was occurring of the computer in general. Also, we've done some testing with the Wi-Fi app on the Android, and it looks like if the channel range overlaps, I got two things that uses channels on 2.4 gigahertz routers. I've got the, the normal devices, the router itself, which uses 2.4 gigahertz, outputs on 2.4 gigahertz, and I have the my extender, which uses 2.4 gigahertz. And if you look at them, you can tell, I can tell the range of channels that they use. And it looks like if you split the channels and get the router using the lower channels and the extender using the higher channels, that seems to be better, which you'd probably expect. So this, I had to reset up my extender. I did reset up my extender trying to solve the problem. And now I'm using it in the mode shown here. The router is offering 2.4 gigahertz, as it always has, and it picks up cameras in the house, the cell phones and PCs, anything that's not direct wired. And then the 5 gigahertz output goes to the cell phones, PCs, but to no cameras. I have no 5 gigahertz cameras. But the router through the 5 gigahertz device now goes to the extender. And it only goes to the extender, but the cameras are 2.4 gigahertz. So the extender, the Netgear extender, allows you to only use 5 gigahertz as the source, but service 2.4 gigahertz cameras or devices. And what that does is it allows you to use a free band, basically 5 gigahertz, and extend your 2.4 gigahertz devices using 5 gigahertz resources. Using this, Netgear has what they call the fast lane option, which allows you to do this. It's a 2-band extender, but you can input 5 gigahertz and output 2.4 gigahertz or any combination thereof. But that's why I'm using it. 5 gigahertz in, 2.4 out, and that allows you to use your resources from 5 gigahertz. And it does seem to help quite a bit. I also did away with all the DHCP stuff. I was trying to do some workarounds, which all it did was irritate me because the devices would change addresses when I rebooted the router or rebooted the extender, etc. So also I found out how to use the Netgear extender properly. The instructions are always weird, but it has a button. You just, when you reset it, you connect to the share that it offers, and then you push another button which starts the software to run on the device that you connected. And it's that easy. So it's just, you have to guess how it works. So I documented that. And what I found out was, I figured I was having a resource problem to do with the high resolution cameras, specifically the SP019s. So I changed the port on the cameras that I connect to. It has 2 ports. It has ONVIF1 and ONVIF2. ONVIF2 is the high res port, and ONVIF1 is the low res port. So I just switched over to the low res port, and that seemed to stabilize everything. So I took the 3 or 4 SP019 cameras, high resolution cameras, and switched them over to ONVIF1. Now, this has a couple of implications. One of them is you're going to be recording your recorder, because I record off this on iSpy, and so I'm going to have lower resolution. So I need to make sure that I have SD cards in these cameras to get high resolution recording. So if I have something I want to look at, then I can go back and capture the date and time and go look at the camera itself and play that. Look at that in case I want to look at something close up. So that, by changing the high definition cameras to lower bandwidth, I got everything cleared up. And looks like my main issue is, well, I have two issues. The main issue is running out of CPU on the server, security server, and number two, running out of network. And I did split up the network somewhat, and it helped tremendously. Also previously taking the server and putting it on a dedicated Ethernet port, took that all the traffic went to the security server. Then by taking it and using a direct line to the router, it reduced the traffic tremendously there. So I'm reducing traffic again using another method because I went to higher definition cameras. Also, it looks like high definition cameras that use Ethernet instead of Wi-Fi tremendously reduce the overhead to these cameras. I noticed that with one of my new cameras that is not on VIF. Let's see. So that gets me up to date on that and made my network pretty stable. The new security cameras are going this to a different mode. They're providing not necessarily high resolution via Wi-Fi, but if you want to record in high definition, or you want to get tons and tons of stuff recorded, you want to record just about everything, then you can use local recording on your SD chip, and you don't have to push all the video through over the network so you can see it, or so you can NVR it, or whatever you're doing. Just push the high definition recording local and just do all your recording down there. And you got 64 gig recording. So you have a lot of stuff you can record at the camera itself. So that seems to be a newer option. Also, the newer software from I forget the name of the new company, but it has much better video recording. You can download the videos. You can, with the Windows software, you can actually you can select a time frame and play all the cameras simultaneously for that time frame. So if you want to see what's happening at 4:25 from all cameras, you can play them, and they're motion activated. So it's pretty cool. That is a nice feature, and the new software seems to be great. The Windows software is way cool. So now the new cameras, Reolink is the name of them. They're still the iSpy compatible cameras are 3 megapixels, 4 megapixels, 5 megapixels. Looks like good software, but they're not compatible yet. And the ones that are compatible are like $50 and up. So it'll be a while before I can play with those. But they do have the battery operated ones are becoming more popular, and they're up there in the $80-$90. I think that's where Steve was saying his were $80-$90. But they're pretty cool. And they do have some solar power, quote, solar power options.
It's hard to see. It's hard to see the time remaining, but I think we're